Hi, my name is Dean. I would like to give you a demo of Oracle's OVM 3.0, a complete server virtualization platform for your data center. It has all the neat features like live migrations, HR. It's completely and fully supported by Oracle for Oracle databases and get the best performance out of it. And it's free, so you only pay support for it, so you can use it in production, you can use it all over, and it's a super product, and I would like to give you a demo of it. Okay, so let's log into the platform. That's admin, and then you enter your password. I've set up a little demo environment of 2 servers at this point, a OVM Manager, this is the OVM Manager you come into, and a server for my VMs. So it's completely fresh here, so I don't have anything, so I would like to configure the systems. I'm just going to show you briefly how you do that. So we don't have any servers, we don't have anything, so I just want to go out and just see if it discovers some servers here. So now I know the IP address for the system. But if I had more servers, I could have given it an IP range. I only have one server in the environment. When you configure the OVM server, you will ask for a password for the agent that is put on the system. So I'm just going to put that one in here. And then OK. So now it's going to go out and discover the server to see if it can find it. And you see down here it's in progress and it's completed. So let's go and see what it found. Yep, I have a server running here and with the agent, and you can see how much memory and things like that. I don't have that much in the systems, but it's okay. For this demo, it's completely okay. You also see if it's bonded some ports. It's actually bonded port here. It's up and running. You will also see the net adapters. Here you have it. So I might want to configure it differently. I don't know. Let's see here. No, so that's okay. See physical disk. I don't have anything here. You can see what events, the server's up and running, the object's created, so that's fine. So I don't have any resources, so I'm just going to go and create a server pool. One thing I actually want to do first is I want to put in my storage. You also need some storage, of course, to have your VMs, and when you do live migrations, you need to have some shared storage so the machines can be shifted around between the different machines you have in a pool. A pool is an amount of systems that you have in that you can fail over between, or you can do live migration between. So, but in my case, I only have one server in my pool. And another very smart thing is that when you're adding a system to your configuration here, it's automatically put into the to a cluster. So if you have 2 servers and you create one pool, it will automatically set up live migration or HR between those 2 systems. So let me just create a pool. Let's see here. I'm just gonna go. Sorry here. Let me just create the storage here. As you see, you can have file storage. You can have a storage here in network, iSCSI, fiber channel storage. So let's just go over here, create some new storage. That's going to be my OVM server. I'll try to spell. Yeah. OVM server VM. So that's pretty good name. So 6.1.0. So yep. You can see my server here. Well, it's going to add that one. It's going to finish off. So it's going to completing, and you will go to see here. So you have the OVM server. One thing that's it's required to have, you need to have a place to put your ISO images, and you need a place to have your servers, your VMs. So you need actually two places. You could have this on, on one system, and you can have this in another systems, depending on how you want to do it. So I think this is very important when doing this, when you've added, is that you go up and make a refresh of file systems. So I'm going to refresh that one. Else it will later come out and ask you when you're creating a VM, and we're going to say that your file system has not been refreshed. So you just need to do that when you put them into the system. So now I have a server, I have storage, so let's go to the fun part. So I'm just going to okay, so now we're going to create a server pool. So we'll go up here. And what's going to call that? Test pool. And I'm just going to give an IP address. This is a virtual IP address. 50. Going to put it on the file system here. I'm choosing server, and there, create this one. So now we're creating a test pool, and you can see it's in progress down here. So just hang on here. I think it's been created. Okay. As you can see, now we have a test pool, but we don't have any machines in the system yet. So I'm gonna invite or add a server into the pool, and we have one pool server which we're gonna use here. So now in our pool we have a server, which is where we're gonna have our virtual machines when we come to that part. So it's warning, it's going to say the status of warning, but we might want to go in and look at what the warning is going to be at some point. So now the system's up and running here. Okay. So another thing I would like to do is I want to go down under hardware. As you saw, we have up here we have info, we have bundings, we have Ethernet ports and physical disk and events, and we're going to go on here and see what we have of as you can see here we have a port 2, and actually if I press here I think, and you go in. So okay, now I've changed my network IP address, or it's not set for anything, it's just set for none at this point. So we're actually going to go to my tools and set VNIC Manager. So I need some virtual NICs. So actually here I can create the MAC addresses for my cards. So I'm just going to give it something. So what about, so this is 2321, I don't know. And how many I need to create it? I say I'm going to create 10. So generate. So we're actually going to go out now is to generate 10 virtual MAC addresses that I have standing here that I can use later on. So I'm just going to close that one. So I have some virtual NICs available when I need to create my virtual machine. So you will see that later. Now, just remember I created 10 at this point. So let's go to the home. I want to go see here. I have my OVM server here, and I'm just going to go in and create a virtual machine. You will see where it goes into. So I'm just going to create a Oracle Linux 5. It's going to have 1 gig of memory. It's going to be based on send virtualization. If you were running Windows, you would have virtualized drivers, and if that needs to run in the operating system, it's going to be Oracle. And wow, I need a repository. So the repository is where I'm going to create my or store my configuration files. So I actually have to cancel here. Sorry about that, guys, but that's when you do a live demo. You sure will go out here. And it's going to create. Go to server pools. You will see up here you have repositories. I don't have anyone at this point, so it says it's going to create a repository, and we're going to call that OVM repositories, and it's asking me where I want to locate it. So I'm just going to choose it. Okay, that's where I'm going to have all my files, and I'm going to pick it up later. And next thing we want to do when we create the OVM repository is that we want to present it for our environment. So have the OVM server out here. Sorry. No. So now we're ready to create our first virtual machine. So I've set up a server, OVM server, where I need to have my VMs running on. I have set up the Oracle OVM Manager. I've set up the network. I've created the VNIX. I've created the storage where I need to have my machines. Which I haven't shown you actually is the repositories, where I also shown you that I created earlier. What I actually did was I loaded in some ISO images onto the system on the server and did a refresh of the repository. And what actually came out of it was that now can you see I have a Oracle Enterprise 5, I have Solaris 10, I have a Windows XP Pro ISO image on the systems, which I could install. So we're going to go to create our first virtual machine here. So I'm going to create the virtual machine. Here you will see the test pool that the one we created. I only have one server, so it wouldn't make any sense to choose anything else. But you know, you would have more than one server in a pool, so you have HR and virtual live migration between them. So Oracle Linux 5, that's the machine I want to create this. I'm going to write test Oracle Linux 5. Here I can specify how much memory I want to have in the server. Seeing I don't have that much on my OVM server, I will only create 1 gig of memory on it and 1 processor. Also, you will see over here you have the domain type. If I needed to install the Windows XP, I would have chosen para-virtualized drivers, which requires that one. So at this point I will Linux 5. It's an OVM repository. That's where I'm going to have my configuration files. The VNIX that you saw me create early in the game, or in my demo here, is now available, and I'm going to choose one of those to have for my virtual machine. The next thing is that I will be the repository where I will be picking things from. Also, I need to specify a name for my disk. It's going to be test Oracle Linux 5 test. Maybe I should take a count here. And how much space I want to use for it? 10 gigs. That should be enough. And there you will see all the different ISO images. I'm just going to include this one I need to have. Go next. The order, specify the disk order. Maybe I should move that one up there. So that's going to be my disk. And here you have the boot order. My recommendation is, at this point what I found out was to have the disk first and the CD-ROM after. Because when you're booting for the first time, you can't boot from the disk, so go down and choose the CD-ROM. If you had if you changed the order, it will always boot on the CD-ROM first and then take the disk, and that would mean that when you're finished installing the Linux, it would start up on the installation disk again. So finished. I've now created set up my first machine. So let's see here. I can also show you how I would create a Windows machine if you want to see that one. So let's see here. Go up here. say test XP. I don't have a license key, so I'll only be able to show you how it's set up. So I'm just going to here test Windows XP. Just going to give 1 gig of memory, and here I would be choosing the pair virtualized drivers. The operating system Windows here. Go here. Just going to take a VNIC here more for that one. Next. And so let's go Windows, if I could spell, Windows XP disk, and how much? 2 gigs of memory. I don't know, that's should be enough. And then I'm just going to choose the Windows ISO image instead. The order of the disk, change around. The first disk, then the CD-ROM, and then finish. Okay, so we created 2 machines and Oracle Linux 5. We created a test XP. Let's take the Oracle Linux 5.